Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unpacking the totally dramatic financial turnaround of Kernex Microsystems and the incredible life-saving technology that's driving the whole thing. It is a really fascinating look at how highly specialized engineering, when matched with massive national infrastructure needs, can just completely alter a company's trajectory in a few short years. All right, let's jump right in with a number that is just staggering. As of May 2026, Kernex is sitting on a monumental aggregate outstanding order book of 4,150 crore rupees. To put that into perspective, that is a massive scale of operations, and it guarantees them serious revenue visibility far, far into the future. But here's the real mystery, right? How does a company that was literally bleeding money, operating at a loss until financial year 2022 because of high fixed overheads and really long product approval processes, suddenly secure a mega deal of this absolute magnitude? Section 1. What is Kavach? Well, to understand this massive turnaround, we first have to understand the tech at the very heart of it. We're talking about a system known as Kavach. Now, the word literally translates to armor in Hindi, and that's exactly what it is. It's an advanced indigenous train collision avoidance system, or TCAS. It was meticulously developed by the Research Designs and Standards Organization, the RDSO, specifically to prevent railway accidents and ensure maximum safety across one of the largest railway networks in the world. Now, this isn't just your everyday, off-the-shelf software. The technology is incredibly specialized and bound by stringent safety standards. It's aligned with the European Train Control System, and most importantly, it adheres to Safety Integrity Level 4, or SIL 4 standards. In the engineering world, that is literally the highest level of safety integrity possible. The acceptable probability of failure is practically zero. The RDSO even approved its latest iteration, version 4.0, in October 2025. So again, this is mission-critical, life-saving armor. Section 2. An exclusive three-player market. Because those technological requirements are so incredibly strict, they create what we in the business world call a massive competitive moat. And the crucial number here, it's 3. Kernex is one of only 3 original equipment manufacturers globally that actually hold the joint patent for this Kavach technology, alongside the RDSO. So think about what this means. Anyone trying to jump in from the outside faces absolutely brutal entry barriers. You've got complex tech requirements, zero margin for error safety standards, and excruciatingly long validation cycles that can take years. But for those 3 companies already inside the moat, there is massive, continuous, and recurring demand from Indian Railways. It's an incredibly exclusive closed loop. Section 3. The financial explosion. Let's see how that competitive moat translates into cold, hard cash. The sheer velocity of their total operating income is wild. They went from a modest 19.6 crore in FY24, jumped almost tenfold to nearly 190 crore in FY25, and then absolutely soared to a staggering 430.22 crore in FY26. That is exponential growth fueled directly by finally executing these Kavach orders. And hey, the financial watchdogs definitely took notice. According to a Care Ratings report, this successful rollout of Kavach finally brought Kernex back to operational profitability in FY25. They explicitly called out a significant turnaround in performance and noted a really healthy profit margin jumping up to 21.55%. But wait, the momentum doesn't stop there. By the end of March 2026, their net profit nearly doubled year over year to over 88 crore rupees. And even more amazing, their total assets skyrocketed from just over 175 crore to an astounding 856.62 crore rupees. We are talking about a complete top-to-bottom balance sheet transformation. Section 4. Hidden risks and red flags. Now, to be totally impartial, we have to look at the full picture here. Massive, rapid growth like this brings some intense operational headaches. And the first major red flag to consider is their operating cycle. It stood at a grueling 171 days in FY25. I mean, imagine running a business where your cash is tied up for almost half a year before you see a single return. It's kind of like buying groceries in January and not getting to eat them until July. So why does it take so long? Well, it's a bottleneck. First, they have to buy materials from a very specific list of RDSO-approved vendors, and those guys offer very limited credit. Then you have a long turnaround time for assembly, strict testing, and really complex on-site installation. It's only at step 4, way after the physical installation is totally complete, that they can finally raise a bill to Indian Railways. Because of that massive lag time, Kernex has to maintain seriously elevated inventory levels at all times. As Care Ratings points out, this necessitates a much heavier reliance on bank borrowings just to keep everyday operations flowing. In an environment like this, prudent working capital management isn't just a nice skill to have, it is literally a matter of survival. There is another massive risk here: customer concentration. Out of that jaw-dropping 4,150 crore order book, a huge 1,730 crore chunk comes from a single order to supply 2,500 TCAS units for the Chittaranjan Locomotive Works. And more broadly, their end-user dependency is 100% Indian Railways. There's basically zero diversification. If the railways ever slow down their infrastructure spending, Kernex takes the hit directly. Plus, there are a few other vulnerabilities to keep in mind. Tech upgrade delays, like migrating from Kavach version 3.2 to 4.0, require fresh certification from the RDSO. That can temporarily stall projects and, of course, delay the billing. Also, their profit margins are structurally capped because they secure these contracts through an L1, or lowest bidder, tender system. And finally, the March 2026 auditor notes highlight an expected credit loss provision of over 309 lakhs for old customer receivables that have been sitting there for over 3 years. So, it's definitely not all perfectly smooth sailing.
Section 5. The track ahead.
So, weighing this historic order book against those very real structural risks, where does Kernex stand right now? Well, despite everything we just talked about, the financial watchdogs remain optimistic. Care Ratings officially assigned their bank facilities a stable outlook, upgrading them to a Care BBB rating. They cited a comfortable financial risk profile, a healthy net worth base, and, of course, that unprecedented long-term revenue visibility from the nationwide Kavach rollout. Which leaves us with one final, pretty provocative question to chew on. Will this exclusive three-player oligopoly efficiently deliver on a 4,150 core order book and ride a bullet train to sustained success? Or will the 100% single-client dependency and those grueling 171-day operating cycles eventually derail their momentum with a massive working capital bottleneck? The life-saving tech is proven, the market demand is crystal clear, but the financial execution over the next few years, that's going to be the ultimate test. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and definitely keep an eye on this fascinating intersection of engineering and finance.